Hello. Oh yeah, it's going now? Hello, my name is Artsy Blanco, the sister, and today we're reading Saturnastra Chicot. This is chapter 25, part 1, The Return. The new year came, and with it King Berthame. It seemed that he had finally snapped out of his stupor, or so-called vacation. From the distance of the tower, I could see the feudal nearest of Little Sophia burning in the distance. He fell upon the rebellion kingdoms like a storm, and he swept through the entire kingdom, and he brought it back into submission. As soon as King Berthame came back into the picture, the production line of weapons was immediately halted, and whatever was completed was shipped out, and we soon returned to business as usual. It was refreshing to resume the manufacturing of compact, perfumes, dresses, dolls, and other trinkets. The production of instruments of war had affected people's humors. And even Gytha and Chicot's relationship seemed almost back to normal, and they went back to playing games like they used to. Though from time to time, when Gytha was not looking, Chicot's face darkened. I started getting possessed by the idea. I couldn't help but think that Chicot was plotting to kill Gytha. And as a result of this suspicion, I started following Gytha around, and at night I would regularly sneak into her room to see if she was still breathing. This unnaturally stopped one day when she woke up early and she saw me watching her sleep. She made a big fuss, and Chicot, who slept in the other room, came to see what she was screaming about, and when he saw me, he pulled me by the hair and threw me out of the room, yelling, "Get out, get out!" I felt ashamed and went to my room, and I was not happy to see my mother waiting for me. Again she told me, "Gytha is a married woman, and it's unhealthy for you to be obsessing about her." Yeah, like he was in a married chick's room watching her sleep. Yeah, that is perfectly normal. She may be legally married, but she is separated from Chicot. Neither of them sleeps in the same room anymore, I said. "Shocked," she said. "And just how do you know that?" "Ah, son, find your own wife and leave Gytha in peace. You show some respect for the man that put a roof over your head." "Yes, mother," I said to end this conversation. Once she left, I was alone with my thoughts for some time, and I heard movements outside my room, and based on the footsteps, I felt that Paola was coming to visit. I quickly turned off the light of my candles, and I pretended to be asleep. Like the first time we met, Paola put a knife to my throat, and then she said, "You awake yet?" Pushing her back, I said, "What's wrong with you?" "I could ask you the very same thing," she said, chuckling. "So you heard," I said sadly. "Not a thing. My only concern is obeying my Lord Chicot's wishes, and besides, I am not the kind of person to speak behind another's back," said Paola. "I have heard strange noises outside of the manor as of late, and I haven't been in town as of late. And have you noticed anything?" I asked. "There are a lot of new faces," said Paola. "Yes, the town has grown a lot," I nodded. Sitting back, she then said, "It is not just new faces. From time to time, I see weird people wandering about the market. Chicot said he hired new soldiers to help us, and I never see these new people in the barracks, nor in the marketplace, the manor, or even in the bar. And when they talk, their words have a strange accent, and some do not speak our tongue as well, and they also wear strange armor." "That is strange. I was under the impression that everyone spoke our language," I said thoughtfully. "If it were up to Berthame, this would be so," commented Paola. "These people, do they look human?" I asked. "Most of them do, however. There are some that are dwarfish, with green skin, long ears, and crooked noses. I had never seen people that look like that. Others are giant and ugly," said Paola. She used her hands to to show how big they were. "Are these people causing the strange noises?" I asked. "No, they seem to be originating from the greenhouse in the manor's home," said Paola. In the mayor's home. The mayor is a strange, reclusive guy, isn't he?" I said more to myself. "The same thing could be said about you," commented Paola. "I am satisfied with my lot in life," I said. "Suit yourself," said Paola, starting to leave. She stopped for a moment, and then she said, "Tomorrow I have a visit to the mayor, and I'm running an errand for Chicot. You can come with me if you like." "Sure," I said, falling back down on the bed. While falling asleep, I started remembering my old etiquette classes. I had been surrounded by ill-mannered brutes for so long that their behavior seemed normal. The following day, I went to the town with Paola. Oh yeah, bro. Can you do that in my cell phone over there? Just punch whatever number until it says that you answer the thing.
Alright. So you press 1, 2.
Yeah, but you have to click send.
Alright.
For one answer or the other. Yeah?
Got it.
Otherwise it doesn't register. It was raining and the stone ground was slightly slippery, and sometimes I would have to angle my parasol to keep the rain from falling on my face. Indeed, I had never gone into town often, and I was always more comfortable in the large manor, and there was plenty to see there to keep me interested. And the town that day was particularly lively, even with the rain. The buildings were wide and with orange red tile floors. There were either 2 or 4-story high buildings. And the two were spread out around the river, with most of the homes near the docks. These had changed somewhat since the flood, and now people were starting to build closer to the mound, so that we made plenty of new houses surrounding our manor. And one of those new homes was the newly constructed town hall of the mayor, and I had never met the man, nor did I ever bother to remember his name. His home was rather large and spacious, and when I went inside, I could hardly get my bearings, and other windows were closed for some reason. And Paola explained, the mayor gets sick if exposed to sunlight. Oh, but I hear he walks around town often, I commented. The one that people see is actually his butler or something. The real guy is supposed to spend his life in his secluded house, said Paola. What's his name, I asked. I don't know, for some reason I can't seem to remember, said Paola, thinking. She was carrying a parcel and some gorgeous flowers inside an urn. I was helping her carry some of her stock. Do you at least know the butler's name, and why hasn't anyone received us yet? I asked, looking disoriented. A candle lighted in the darkness and made its way down a passage that might resemble a staircase, and when the candle was close enough, I saw the small frail hand of a child. I saw the faint silhouette of a human girl no older than 13 or 15. It was hard to tell due to the darkness that surrounded me. Forgive my father for not receiving you. We have been pretty busy as of late, she said apologetically. Why isn't there more light? Open a window or something, I demanded. Forgive me, I forgot people were coming, and I will open the curtains right away, she said. The dark entry was filled with sounds of hurried footsteps, and it was quite charming to see the little candle make its way all over the room. After a few minutes, there was plenty of light inside, and the windows were rather large and made of clear glass. The walls were all painted white, and so was the roof. There were no chandeliers or lampposts, and the main decoration consisted of numerous urns with flowers and other plants. The maid girl took Paola's kiss and she placed it on top of the table. The maid directed us to the living room with 2 couches and a warm fireplace. The rain had picked up somewhat, and as soon as we had gone inside and the maid later came back with tea, she was followed by a strange, raven-haired man wearing an even stranger armor. The man had a haggard look on his face, and he spent most of his time looking at his pocket watch. He also did not touch any of the tea and biscuits, and when he looked at me, his face brightened, and he said with a strange accent, Your name is Joseph, is it not? Yes, I said, somewhat perplexed. Paola the maid kept quiet for most of our conversation, and when she was bored of listening, she went to another room to converse with the maid. The strange man asked me just about everything there was to know about me, and I politely answered more out of morbid curiosity. When this interrogation was done, I asked, Now that you know everything there is to know about me, it will only be polite if you answer some of my questions. I will answer as much as I am able, said the man. Who are you, and what mercenary group do you belong to, I asked. My name is Josephus. I belong to the Lord Gytha for now, and I used to work for the nomads only 2 years ago, and I owe them a good debt of gratitude, and I would not be sitting here before you if it was not by their efforts, he said, carefully measuring his words. And the others, what of them, I asked. I cannot say for certain. Our only commonality is that we are in the service of Lord Gytha, said Josephus, looking at his watch again. Do you need to be somewhere, I asked. Not for another 2 hours, answered Josephus. Oh, I said, then you have more than enough time, and relax, stop looking at your watch. My apologies, said Josephus, putting the watch away. Time, bro?
5 minutes.
I said when I saw him looking at the grandfather clock that was in the corner of the room. So, Joseph, Are you married? He said. No, I said plainly. Why not? Marriage is fun. It gives a man a whole new sense of purpose, and the kids are a lot of fun to look at, said Josephus, smiling. So I have been told. Are you married? Do you have children? I said, throwing these questions back at him. I was starting to get bored of the endless interrogation. I had to, and a pretty little wife. Our parents didn't want us to marry, so we had to elope, he said sadly. So what happened? I asked, feeling that his story was finally getting somewhere. After my daughter died, my relationship with the missus got strained, and my youngest son doesn't even know that I exist, said Josephus. Have you tried speaking with him? I said. Circumstances beyond my control keep me from seeing him. Now he is all grown up. He was about to say more, but his pocket watch sounded an alarm. Josephus stood up and left the room, and that was the one and only time I ever spoke with the man. I remember him because his name was so similar to my own, and what he said gave me much to think about. In comparison to most men, I should be married and with children, and I had never truly taken this matter seriously. In this respect, I was just as immature as Chicot, and I finally decided to look for a spouse of my own, and when I became financially stable enough. The odd noises in my house too stopped a few days after my visit. With the sun gone, I dismissed the entire incident from my mind. Alright, so we're done with that. Bye bye, God bless.